feel like works better sometimes, at least mine does, responds more often to stress as a stimulus, also time crunches in general. Um, so I think oftentimes maybe I just don't put as much time into it because I know that we're not going to spend as much time on it. That's a nice looking floor. But I think it's because I know that I also have to like make quick decisions and go a little bit more in my gut. When I'm making things on my own pace, I can kind of um, get stuck in my thoughts and wanting to perfect it all. But when I'm making a map in a session where I've got less than an hour until that session starts, you know, I want to get that done quickly, and I kind of got to trust my gut on certain choices. Like this. We're gonna use. Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. Let's see what random shapes come up. Let's go in the corner. Go there. That's kind of similar. So our players on this first quest today are going to be going to the Shadow Realm. So I'm going to be making one of the locations where pretty much I kind of make maps that I need as I need them. So in this case, and I mean that like in terms of like if I need a generic map, I can just go make a generic map. But if I need something specific, then I'll spend a little bit more time on it, like this in this case. So you're gonna see at the end, once we get all the filters and everything on, I'm making, this is gonna be a field because the players are in search of these flowers in the Shadow Realm. So I want them to find this kind of, bring this out it a little bigger. But I want them to come across this. I think I want to bring them out more too. There's a lot of space. Here we go. I don't like that this looks too much the same. So I'm going to get another one. This guy here, that's perfect. Then we'll get another out one. And then what I'll do is I'll make one really long. So this is all just going to be where a place where enemies can appear and come out of. But the thing I wanted was for there to be a cave here. Okay, and again, you shouldn't be watching this if you're in our if you're in our 4 p.m. session, because these are spoilers for today's session. So, yeah, know that. But anywho, like I mentioned, the it's today. Wow, it's already the 30th. Holy crap! It kind of freaks me out when I think about it, when we're like in just a year, not even a 12th of the way into the year already. Practically February. Holy crap! But anywho, gonna put a cave in here. That's what I really want this for. So I'm gonna clear some of this out. I'll put this here. Move this down. Maybe even make this bigger. I put this in the back. That doesn't really matter too much there. I guess, can I redo that? Yeah, when I color them and add shadows, it'll look more cohesive. Make this one bigger. There we go. So now we're really getting, kind of seeing, hopefully by now, the vision, So let's get this out of the way. We don't need that one. I feel like we need one that's going to have a natural look of decline. If I put this one lower. Okay. Same thing with this one. Make this Can make them both widen a little bit. There we go. So we've got our little cave here. Pretty quick. We'll get some rocks outside. Rocks are good use for cover or just let's see. Random stamps again. Make them smaller. So big rock, little rock, little rock, little rock. Okay. I don't know if I want something bigger here. Sharp rocks. These don't really fit the same style right now, though. Okay. Now we can. I think that's pretty good. Because we're gonna want some cover out here. Maybe a little bit over here. Let's take away one of these rocks. It's a little too cluttered. Let's put these rocks instead closer to this side. So it kind of gives the appearance, maybe a little more of some elevation. It's being here. Because you like to break apart the hard lines, you know, the harsh lines on these objects. That's what always looks unnatural. Harsh lines will always look strange. But alright, so we got some rocks. That looks like good cover. This area, I like this because it's not directly cover from that spot up there. And it's also very far. So it is good cover, but it's still, let's make it even a little further. Okay. Now we can go. Dragon skeletons. That'd be fun. But no. There's another area where I can get skeletons. That's what I'm looking for. Because they've got like this spider victims. Could get some rubble too. Wouldn't be bad for that. Artisans, no. Camp gear. No. Castle. Footsteps. Royal quarters. First, let's do the thing I always forget to do, which is save. And we're going to save this as Shadow Realm Flowers. Oh, skeletons. Gotta make sure they're the right size, though, for the scale of this map. I'm gonna put a skeleton up here. We'll put one over here. Yeah, looks pretty natural. Any flowers? These dying trees we could use. Let's go back to Chase the Stars. Okay, so we've got some dying trees here. That'll be good. Let's make these a little bigger again. We'll place these out here. Just so the area doesn't look so secluded. Getting a good look at it all at once. A good way to make sure it's not too unbalanced, too cluttered. Yeah. Piles of ruins. That might be exactly what we need. Up in the front. Just to make it look like things have tried getting over through there. I like how flat the rocks look. They don't really have good shadows. I think because the rocks aren't as they don't have shadows accurately reflecting their size is what it is. So let's customize their shadows. Default object over shadow. No. Layers. There we go. So that's why. Maybe putting them on layer shadow. Layer shadow. Okay, there we go. So those look a little bigger. These guys down here, I'm gonna have them be flat instead, not be layer cast. There we go. As default object shadows. Okay, so now you can see it's faint. It's hardly noticeable, but it makes a difference. These shadows here, these stones here have bigger shadows. These are flatter, so they have shorter shadows. It just gives us the impression that they are that they're there. They have depth. I do want this to be consistent. This shelf here being higher than this one. Even this, like, this all adds to like the eye. The eye can just kind of tell things. And even though I may not seem it, like that little bit, like this area not having a shadow, right? But this area does. Just lets you know. I might even make this shadow a little more intense. Just a little bit. Is it working? Oh, it's just going way stronger than I thought it was. Click it first. Oh, it's just asking me what I think the layer shadow should be. Okay. Blur it a little bit more, a little less. Intensify a little more. Might be a little too intense. No, that's good. We'll keep that. It'll look darker when we put all of our stuff on. So there we go. So that now that adds a little bit more depth. Let's add the trees to the same layer shadow. Just keeps the consistency across all of them. Okay. So now you can kind of see we got our trees, got our rocks. I'm gonna save this again, and then here's where we'll start making some variations. Because when our players encounter this, they're gonna be in the shadow realm. This will be a place of black and dark. Black and white lights, but they're also coming here for some flowers, and obviously there is a cave here, so we're gonna go and we're gonna look for some flowers. I'm looking for like shadow flowers and things. I'm also looking for things that are gonna show very well when we turn things into black and white, which is gonna be hard to do. So let's just see how these guys look. They don't really look like flowers, but again, it's when we start adding, so like let's just say black and white, right? I want things to still have the same readability in black and white. Even though it's not going to be as intense, I'm going to bring it up a bit. There we go. So things, you can still make out what things are. And yeah, those don't look like flowers. They look like plates. So that's fine. We'll get rid of these. But I still think it's good to have some. These plants look bigger than the trees. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I still want there to be some plant life. I'm gonna make these guys way smaller, like way smaller, and put them around the trees, just to further reinforce that this is a place in the Shadowfell that does grow things. Things do grow here. They're just, you know, shadow plants and things like that. I think I'm looking for more of a jungle. Oh, maybe this. Water lilies. How would that look if it was bigger? Okay. I'm also using the stamp to generate this because I want So I'm gonna take these water lilies, I'm gonna customize them all together. Something that's gonna look strange even out here. So we could go the opposite direction. Everything else out here is desaturated, but these are higher saturated. but darker. They're big plants. So I'm gonna imagine that they're big spiky plants. You gotta like either climb or fly to the top of them. And the flower is at the top there. With the flowers, I should say. Let's add like a few more out here. Do these have shadows? Yeah, because I am saying that they're big plants. It kind of looks silly. Let's make them smaller. Even if they are big plants, it can still they just look bigger than our trees do. Let's make our trees a little bigger. You know, I'm not imagining like our players will be quite small on this map, so I don't know. There we go. So they'll come here, get to the flowers, bam, have their encounter. So now we can add a few more like finer details. Let's see. Smoke? No. Snow? Sparks? Sparks. No. Fire is muted here. Blood splatters. There's different spells too. I don't think any kind of fire or blood splatter. Burning ashes? No. Now a light. There's no light. Clouds. Okay, we could do clouds. Because I would like to make it like there's a little bit of fog coming through. Okay, let's put some smoke out here, some clouds. What I'm just gonna do is make the clouds really big. Here, up, up. But I can change their opacity, control that. So I'm gonna make them really big, but really opaque. This will let me still control, in general, you know, how kind of like cloudy it looks. You know, so I'm gonna select my clouds again and spread this out. Right, so this again reinforcing like our eyes natural sight, right? If this is a mist of some kind, mists usually hang to the bottom, right? So I'm trying to keep it off of that upper edge up there, but I want it to still look like it's coming maybe more from in the cave, perhaps. Let's take this, and this is big. Let's bring it down. So again, reinforcing that like the mist is down here. It's not up in, up there inside the top region. So little by little, you start to see, I'm going to save this clone as this foggy. And we'll focus on this one. I want to use this to make other maps later on. It's always best, like I find, like for me at least, when inspiration strikes, that's when you gotta like move and do it. Of course you can make yourself do the work and try to squeeze things out. I'm trying to work on bettering that process of like being able to tap into that creative spark. I like this better a little bit. No, that's still pretty good. I think these are both lower, right? Let me just check. Let me lower their layers. And then I'm gonna make them more. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, cool. Just adding some more depth down there. I think. Let me see. We're looking pretty good already. Just trying to see if there's anything else I need to really add. I suppose I could add another cloud down here and just spin it around a little bit just to increase the eeriness a bit. Make this one bigger. Decrease the opacity there a bit. Okay. There we go. Now the whole place has a sort of mist to it. Oh, cancel. Don't do that. Okay. So let's take our clouds. We're just gonna lock those. That's just gonna make it so I can't keep clicking on them. I think actually pretty much everything here we're gonna lock. Select all, lock all. Okay. Now I can't select anything and click anything here. I'm free to do whatever I want. I'm not gonna like, you know, accidentally start moving things. So I'm pretty set on this choice here. But right now I'm just looking to see if there's any other. Trying to see if there's any other things I can add that will sort of add a better. Let's shrink this and put this underneath one of the other trees. This kind of looks more like roots are coming out of them. I did that. Let's see. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Okay, I gotta fix some of those because the tree above looks smaller. But oh, I can't because. Alright, so we'll make this smaller then. This at least makes it look like there's roots and things growing out of them. This is a shadow realm. It is a little bit weird and wacky. The planes are strange. The realms are strange. So cool. That made our trees look a little more fierce and otherworldly a bit. Bam, bam. Farmstead. Gotta be quick because I could also like spend way too much time on this. This is always a problem. I try not to spend more than like half an hour on a map. Grasping thorn vines. Do love this. I do love this. Maybe too because it could provide an area where like players can't really walk through. I could, because right now there's not really much giving difficult terrain out here. So we'll do these. We're just gonna make them bigger. Maybe more between the trees. It's just making it more clear, like this area is a little dangerous to walk through, maybe. Yeah. Because then it kind of looks like we've got. I could do that over here. Gotta make sure that they're not like overlapping, which they kind of do there. Just so it just kind of adds this vibe that like there's something weird going on. You know, like they're just reaching out to each other for some reason. See, like this. Something about this, it sounds like very James Bondy in a weird way. I think it'd be easier to just move this tree over here. Trees. Trees. Dying tree. Which tree are you? There we are. Let's make you a little bigger while we're at it. And we'll kind of do something similar over here, where we're just gonna have this reach out, this overlaid just to kind of add like like it's sort of branching. It kind of looks like just the way like moss might do so. I think we're gonna make our trees a little bit bigger too. Trees. Let's actually take all of our trees, select all, and whoa. I did my other trees not, oh, because they're using different scales. Okay, so I'm gonna want my big tree like this. Okay, thank you, thank you. Then my dying trees. Okay, some of these trees are not like the others. So I'll have to make this one a little bigger. This one a little bigger. Because it doesn't really make sense if the thorns just look that much bigger on them. It's got to kind of look like the thorns are coming from underneath, you know? Thorn. Match. See, they're on the wrong layer. Should be lower. There we go. Okay, we messed enough with the trees. Now that area down there looks a little more unwieldy. We're going to keep adding stuff, though. Because there's bushes, grasping vines, thorny vines, thorn bushes. Those just look like straight up thorns. I want the grasping vines. I'm sort of just eyeballing right now. Let's do some random flips, auto. Whoa. What the heck just happened? Let's connect this here. Crazy. Automatically select place stamps. Yes, automatically select place stamps. I like these vines a little bit more actually. They just seem a little more natural. But I want this place to really look like a whole bramble. See, these do look like what I'm talking about. Let's place multiple of these in a big area. Super dense. See, that looks good. So it's gonna be pretty clear to the party. Hopefully. We'll see. That this is put this under here. A difficult terrain to go through. But you can never be too certain. So I'll be sure to describe like there's a big thorny bramble collection that they have to go through. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna add some little variations to the textures. Just basically making it a little more sparse. So some dirt, very faint, I'm talking here. I want it to be kind of up the dirt path. Oh, maybe not that faint, let's see. This looks... Okay, coming through a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit like painting. This is just to add and make it so it's not all one consistent color. kind of like airbrushing like a little bit. So it looks a little bit more like a cave that we're looking at here. And also I just feel like the higher area, again, differentiating that part, it would just look a little bit more worn down. God, this is amazing. It's amazing how much faster I can work when I actually have a very clear image in my head of what I want to do and how it's supposed to look. But I guess that's how it works. Last things we're just gonna do, adjust, add some more filters. We're gonna add clarity. It just helps. Good. There, sharpness. Do we need? I don't think so. I'm not always a fan of how the sharpness looks. See, I don't like that too much, but you need a little bit. Saturation, no. Overcast. We could add in winter, which will add some cold tones to it. That's good. You'll kind of see what I mean with winter. That's colder. I'm gonna make it actually a little high. And then with the color adjustment, bring the saturation down a tiny bit. I'm gonna reduce that sharpness and some of the clarity. Yeah, right there. And then we can see if there's any texture filters we want to add. So texture filters, our whole catalog. It could be things like snow, rain, borders, paper tears, God rays. We've already got a little bit of our fog going in. I think it rains. I think, but maybe just a nice vignette look. There we go. That's perfect. Export as image, and we're good to go. That's how a map is That's how a map is made. So you can come back after the session's done and see how this map ended up getting used. That's it for the stream. I still got other prep to do.